Rue Clotilde is here with us today, a beautiful name, a beautiful brand, and we're here today to talk about how the brand has already expanded and launches on Friday the 7th of August. You've got the floor. Tell us all about Rue Clotilde.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really happy to be talking with you today. So basically, Rue Clotilde was kind of always in the back of my head. Rue Clotilde is a sustainable t-shirt company for now. Hopefully, we'll expand as a clothing company. But for now, it's only t-shirts. So we've decided to create t-shirts that empower females through the prints and the messages that we're trying to show through the brand. But we're also so we're making the t-shirts in the UK. They're actually being printed near Bath because we wanted them to be as eco-friendly as possible. So you know how a lot of feminist t-shirts are actually not feminist because it says like girl gang or something on it, but it's actually being produced in developing countries where women are not paid a good salary, not good enough. So your average feminist t-shirt is actually not feminist, and we wanted to do the opposite of that. So we wanted to make sure that it was made also using very sustainable materials. So it's using 100% organic cotton, and the prints that we're using actually they use less water than normal prints, and they're made in the UK, and they don't use plastic. How a lot of prints actually use plastic, which is not sustainable. And the ones that we used is a specific method, and it requires more time, and it's obviously more expensive to make, but on the long run there's no plastic involved, and it's also vegan prints, so nothing has been tested on animals beforehand. So we wanted to have the best quality products and very sustainable, but also make it female empowering. And I've also decided to partner up with a charity, which is Plan International, because to me, education for women all around the world is such an important issue, and it's so important, and it's essential for us to have a brighter future as a community. So I thought it was really important for me to make sure that our t-shirts were also giving back to a really good cause. So a part of the profits from the t-shirt will go back to Plan International, that helps children, especially girls, have access to education in developing countries. And having access to education also reduces child marriage, and it helps women obviously have more opportunities in the future. And I thought it was just such a beautiful cause that we had to support it somehow with Rue Clotilde. So yeah.
And how did you find Plan UK? How did you know that you could make those donations? For anyone who was setting up their own company, who was interested in the same.
So basically what I did is that I knew I wanted to support a charity that helped girls have access to education. That was my main thing. So I Googled it very easily, and then on the website I found an email address that was related to companies who want to donate. So more and more companies now, some companies is more greenwashing, unfortunately, but some companies really are active and they really give back to charities. And so there's a category where you can actually email them and ask as a company if you can donate. And so I got in touch with them, and I actually someone called me from Plan International a few weeks after, saying that they loved the project, and saying that they would love to be able to work with us for Rue Clotilde. And yeah, it was really easy because it's such an amazing charity and they really liked what we're doing. So yeah, it was very easy to put that into place. And yeah, it was really important for me because I really wanted to give back to community somehow. And yeah, I think it was the best way.
I had heard of Plan UK, and I was aware of them, but I hadn't realized the extent of their work until I'd come across your brand. So not only are you raising funds for them, but you're also advertising them and making others aware. So well done you. I think that's amazing, and it's such a good for your brand. Our first month is themed starting, and you're starting. So we would love to hear your process, the highs, the lows, the exact method of where the idea came from. We touched earlier on, you said about university, and I love this story. I think it's great. And I think for anyone who has been in university recently and maybe due to lockdown like yourself on an earlier summer holiday, this is a big motivation to trust your gut when you know you've got a good
Yeah.
idea. So tell us about that.
So basically, Rue Clotilde was my final project for my undergrad. So I studied business at university. And for anyone who studied business, you know, it's a very masculine environment. So I have mostly male teachers. We only have presentations on male CEOs. We talk about a very masculine environment as well, because it's all about being the best, making more profit. It's this kind of mindset, which is not really what I wanted to do in the future. So for my final project at uni, I wanted to do a sustainable company. So it was a fake company, obviously, at the time. So I wanted to do a sustainable company, but I wanted it to be empowering for women as well. And I explained my project to a few of my classmates. A few people wanted to join, so it was 4 of us working on the project at uni. And then we did our final presentation in front of our male teacher, who was in his 50s, and I don't think he really understood the idea of the company. So I got a 2-2, and I'm an overachiever, and this was just not good enough for me, and I didn't understand the feedback. And I think it's just because my teachers didn't really understand, which is sad because they're supposed to help us believe in our projects. And I felt a bit disappointed when I got my grade back and the feedback was it wouldn't really work. And knowing that, I was like, that's just not possible. I have to make it work somehow.
That's an opinion. That's not fact.
Yeah, and I just thought I have to make it work somehow. And then this year I did my master's degree, and I had a very interesting class which was sustainable marketing. And I thought I'd never had a class around sustainability before, and I thought, how did I never have anything like this before at uni? Why did I have to wait till my 4th year of uni to have just a little bit about sustainability? And I thought, I learned so much as well about slow fashion and about fast fashion and the impact that fast fashion has, especially now. I think more people know about it with all the boohoo scandals and all that, Nasty Gap, Pretty Little Things, all that. I think people are more aware of what fast fashion is now. And when I finished this year of uni and it was locked down, like you said, I thought it was just a perfect time to start something. And it takes a lot of courage, I think, as a woman to just believe in yourself to start. Especially when you're 21, and I'm still a student, so I don't really have any work experience. And I've, like I said before, I'm really lucky because I have a very helpful family, and my partner as well has always been very encouraging with my project. And I just thought it was the perfect time to start. And yeah, that's how it started.
Do you think that although you know you stand on your own feet and you could do this alone, do you think you still appreciate having that backing?
I definitely appreciate it, even on a daily basis, without even being a business issue. My boyfriend's a feminist, which is, I think,
that's it.
Amazing. It sums it up.
That's it.
He believes in me, and when I said that I'm doing my master's degree, he thinks I'm a little nerd, and he thinks like I'll be the one working when we're married and have kids. And he's honestly, he's really supportive, and we have very interesting chats about what it's like to be a woman in the world, because sometimes they don't take the time to think about it as male, but definitely very lucky. And I think I just need that extra push to believe in myself, especially since he works. He's got more experience than I do, so I feel like also because I'm quite young, I just needed that extra push as well to just believe in myself and believe in my project. But yeah, definitely lucky, and I wish that every man was a feminist. Hopefully one day.
Without being a professional in the fashion world, but a big admirer of it. I think the colors, the design, I think the chicness of the t-shirt, and how you say you could wear it with jeans, you could wear it as PJs. It's so versatile and so beautiful. So congrats to you. I think.
Oh, thank you so much.
And your brand's ticking every box, but then it also looks stunning and well made as well.
Thank you.
There's a tagline. So basically, there's a woman reading a book, and she's really casual. She's in like either a long dress or a t-shirt.
Yeah, like a long t-shirt. Yeah.
And then the tagline is, don't be scared to be smart.
Yeah.
So tell us all about that. Where did this come from?
Yeah. So basically so I'm not really good at drawing. But one of my best friends, she actually studies graphic design at uni. And she's doing her final year now, so she's really good. And we share the same vision. So when I started Rue Clotilde, I called her to explain the whole project. And I said, all I need is someone to help me with the graphic design aspect of it, because I can't do I can do it on a piece of paper, but that's it. And so we worked together. So it started with some Pinterest mood board pictures. We knew we wanted to do something that was all about female empowerment. And I think working with the charity as well, all about saying education for women. And like we said previously as well, about the work environment being usually very male dominant. We wanted to do something that would make girls believe in themselves even more, because how many times you've been told by your parents, like, oh, it's fine, you'll marry a rich man, I don't need to study, you don't need to go to university. And it's the saddest thing. And I just wanted to, like, I don't know, explain in a nice way through the t-shirts that you don't have to be scared to be smart. How many times at a big reunion you're scared to speak up because you're a woman, and you feel like you don't belong, or you feel like your opinion doesn't matter as much, because that's just what people tell us when we grow up as women. And I think that it's time to change that. And don't be scared to be smart was the best way to express that idea. That is, don't be afraid to speak up, don't be afraid to apply for that job, even if you don't meet 100% of the qualifications. Apply for that job, because the man who's going to apply for the job, he doesn't have all the qualifications, but he believes in himself enough to do it, because that's the way he's been raised. Speak up, do what you want to do. You'll be like that big phrase now, you'll be the CEO. You don't need to marry one, you'll be that rich CEO one day. And it's all about that. And the woman reading, so I don't know if you can tell, but the girl kind of looks a bit like me. So my friend helped me to make it look like a bit like that. But also I got so many friends who told me, it kind of looks like me on the t-shirt. And I find it amazing how people, they can see themselves through this woman, because she's reading. It's all about the same thing, education, being smart, but it's also in a very casual way. It's like, you don't have to go to uni, you don't have to come from a specific background. Just speak your mind, because your opinion matters. And I think that's what we really wanted to show through the design. And my friend did a brilliant job.
The woman isn't in a suit and isn't being afraid to be smart in a boardroom, or isn't on a phone call doing a meeting. She's reading a book as if it's everyday life. And there are so many people, and I remember even growing up, girls wouldn't admit that they read. You know, they'd admit that they are in dance lessons, or they'd admit that, you know, they do pottery, but they wouldn't admit that they would read books. And that was my takeaway, was that if I went into work on a Monday and someone asked me what I did, would I be honest and say, well, yesterday I had a great day sitting down reading my book all day long? It's that casual, and it's that simple. It's not afraid to be, it is don't be afraid to be smart on a global term, but it's also in the simplest ways of life as well.
It's also because I saw this when I was at uni. I think I was an article somewhere saying that men who apply for a job, usually they'll apply for a job even if they meet less than the qualifications required for the job, while a woman only applies for a job where she knows that she's got 90% of the qualifications. And there was a quote next to it that said, apply for this job because the man who'll get it is probably less qualified than you are. And I thought that was so true as well. And what you said about being ashamed of reading, I think it is that cliche that we grew up in, that is, even in our relationships, men like women who are not as smart as them. And I thought that was also important in the t-shirts, not so much on like it is about the working aspect as well, but also in daily life, like you say, conversation with family and friends. Sometimes you're afraid to speak up, or it is that cliche that when you meet up with a boy that you like, for example, girls, especially young girls, will pretend to be less smart than what they are, because it's intimidating for men to be around smart women. And this was also what we wanted to show through the t-shirts. The casualty of the t-shirt is also because it's not just in the work life, it's also everyday life with friends, with family. How many times for me at family dinners, I just don't feel like I should speak up, because my dad's speaking up, my uncles are speaking up, my granddad's speaking up, and they're talking about politics, and they're talking about real issues. And I'm just there and I'm like, oh, should I say something? Because I know about this and I want to talk about it. But does my opinion matter because I'm 21, because I'm a woman? I don't know. My first internship that I had was 2 years ago. It was in a big office in Paris. I was working for a fashion company. And when I was showed to my cubicle, I had brought with me some pictures and some stuff to decorate my old desk. And I had a print that said feminism on it. And I remember the night before thinking, do I put it up or not? Is it going to cause trouble? Maybe. Because I was in a department next to a lot of guys, because it was like finance, accountants. And I was just so scared of like, do I put it up or not? Is it going to cause problems if I put a feminist sign on my desk? And it's a stupid thing to think, because it's not inviting like discrimination or anything. And I put it up. I don't remember people walking past my desk thinking like, what is this sign? What is this? Why is it here? And I did it, and I was really proud of it. I was like, right, it's time to do it. Let's just put it up.
How have you found the marketing and social media side of business operations? What's your advice to small brands who might not be great with social media, but also generally your advice to any makers, creatives, or women who were like you, they had an idea and they wanted to do it?
I would say the main thing is, it's going to sound very cliche again, but it's really believe in your idea and your project, because your social media is a great platform to advertise everything. But if you don't believe in your project, if you don't want to advertise it and advertise every single aspect of it, if you're not 100% sure of what you want to do, then I think it's harder. I think for me, at the beginning, I was posting a lot, and a lot of my friends, they were telling me like, oh, you could tell you believe in your project, and it made them believe as well in the project. And I think I didn't want to just talk about the t-shirt. I wanted to talk about every single aspect of the brand. So about the fact that it's sustainable, about the fact that it's female empowering, that it's working with a charity, and all the different aspects also make it more human. So it's not just t-shirts, it's also, I share stuff about me. I share about the environment. I repost in my stories some articles sometimes, and try and help other small brands as well, small Instagram accounts or small brands that are starting. And it's all about believing in your project and staying true to why you started, and how amazing every single project out there. I've seen so many good projects and small brands on Instagram since we started, and they all deserve recognition because they're just all amazing. But you have to show the human side of it as well, because when you go to like, I don't know, you go to ASOS on their Instagram, it's not relatable. It's a lot of makeup, it's a lot of filter, it's outfits, it's models, but I don't see myself in these pictures. It's a big brand, that's all there is to it, if that makes sense. Well, I feel like when smaller brands, you can see the work behind the scenes, how everything was made, but you see also more of the human side, which I think is really nice. And I would say believe in yourself, show every single aspect of your business, because everything is worth showing. At first I was like, should I take pictures of me in the t-shirt, or should I just take pictures of the t-shirt? And I'm like, no, I need to show that I made them, I'm wearing them, I'm proud of them. It's my project, it's my little baby, and I want the world to see it. So believe in yourself, believe in your project, show every single aspect, and don't be scared to be human as well. It's not just business, it's also it's a live project. There's a real story to every single business and how everything was created. How you said you created it with your friends.
Yeah.
And there's a story behind every brand, and they're all worth being told. So I think social media is a great way. It's a great platform to express the everything about your business.
There's one aspect to these conversations which we don't particularly focus on with the entrepreneurs and business managers that we chat with, but I do find it interesting to do it with the brands who've just started. And although it isn't great to focus on the negatives, there are negatives. And I think it's great to motivate people and inspire people and bring your journey to a conversation point. But it can seem rose tinted sometimes, and it can seem like everything's great. In terms of your journey, what's been a low, and what's been any moment or any experience that you've had to pick yourself up from since starting Rue Clotilde?
Yeah, I think the beginning was a bit tough, because first of all, you need to believe in yourself and in your project, and it's one thing to believe in yourself, but it's another thing to share your project with other people. And I think that as nice as people are, when you tell them about a new project and you're all excited about it, people always try and pick the little negative things. And so it was my friends, my parents, family friends, my mom calling me to say, oh, my friend said this, so it's not going to work. How are you going to make money? That's too expensive. You should just like produce it in India or in a developing country and use plastic prints. No one cares. And you can make a bigger profit. And I just said, like, the profit is not the main thing, because I'm a student. It's not what I want. What I want right now is not to make a lot of profit. What I want is to make good t-shirts. Some of my friends were like, yeah, well, I can go to Primark and buy a t-shirt for £3. And I said, like, yeah, but the thing is, like, when you go to Primark, you're not paying for the t-shirt, because £3 is not going to affect you. It's all the workers behind who are paying with their lives for the t-shirts. If you want to buy a t-shirt for £2, £3, go to H&M, go to Primark, go online, but you're not paying for it. It's people, the workers behind the scene, who are paying for it with their lives. And I said, maybe £30 is too expensive. In that case, don't go to Primark and buy 5 t-shirts, save up maybe, and after a month of saving up, you'll be able to get a Rue Clotilde one, and it's something that will last you in time as well, because it's good quality. The prints, they don't fade away. You can wash it, you can iron it. It's not going to fade away because it's good quality, and it will last in time. Because the thing is, like with fast fashion, is that you're going to wear it for 6 months, a year, and then quality is degrading. It's going to end up in the bin, and there's nothing you can do about it. And yeah, I think it's definitely something that was hard for me. That it was to talk about money, because some of my parents' friends, for example, that my parents were really proud, so they were telling all their friends, and I would see them, and they would be like, "Oh, so how much did to buy them? What are the costs? How much money are you going to make? How much money are you giving back to charity? How much are you going to sell?" And I think it's so hard when you start a business that people only see the money side of it. Sometimes when you're like, it's a whole project, there's so many ideas behind it, and it's so much work put into it, and people reduce that to what was going to be your profit margin. I think it is hard to talk about money, and people don't always understand, because some people will tell me like, oh, well, in that case, if they're sustainable, you can sell them for a lot more, because people will want to buy that. And I said, but no, that's not the point, because like you say, my generation, I want my friends to be able to buy it. I want to make the t-shirts available for everyone, because slow fashion is not just expensive. It can be affordable. And I'm lucky now to say I'm a student, so I live at home. I don't have expenses. I'm lucky to say that I'm probably not going to pay myself for months and months. And that's not a problem, because I want to put all the effort and all the profit that's going to come back into Rue Clotilde. And that's a chance that I have right now, is that I'm still a student, so I don't really need to get a salary. And people don't understand that. What's the point of starting a business if you're not going to make money out of it right now? And that's just really sad.
That's
and it's very cruel conversation. And sometimes I just get random DMs on Instagram of people who clicked on the website and says £30 is too expensive. That's it. Oh, it's too much. too much compared to what? Too much to.
Yeah, to us, they are
And
compared to Primark. We're so used to paying £6 for one compared to, I mean, it's tough. It is tough, and I understand it. Particularly if I was still unemployed, I really would struggle to pay £30 for a t-shirt. But you're not paying £30 for a t-shirt. You're paying it for all the meaning that's behind it. That's what.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, unfortunately, in our world now, we're used to paying less and have a lot.
Yes.
And I've realized that since I learned more about slow fashion, I've stopped shopping as much as I would before. I stopped going to the same fast fashion brands that I would go to in the past. I shop a lot online, secondhand, for example. And after all that, you realize you don't need that much. You don't need to go on a shopping spree and buy 10 tops for the summer. You need 2 or 3, and then because you buy better quality as well, they last longer. So I've got tops that I've had in my wardrobe for six years maybe, and they're still fine because it's great quality. And I think that what is sad is that people now, they purchase a lot for not a lot of money, but they don't expect it to last in time. They expect it to end up in the bin in the next 6 months and they'll go again. It's kind of like the Primark mentality of way of shopping, which is not sustainable in our world anymore. And yeah, it's hard to try and change the mindset of people, especially since slow fashion is very new, I would say. It is new to most people. I would say a lot of my friends didn't know really about it until I started it. And it's quite a recent word as well. And you have to educate people. You have to explain, right, that's the price for a t-shirt, but that's all the work that's behind. And yeah, it's just that was, I think, the main low of Rue Clotilde when I started. It's one of the low social media is that it's very easy to comment on pictures and to send DMs and to just pick on every single thing. If, for example, I don't know, on one picture there's a plastic cup and it's not a reusable one, then people they will say, how can you be a sustainable company, but there's a plastic cup on the picture? It's like, yeah, but it's not mine. It was there and it happens to be in the picture, but it's not mine. And it's really hard, and people will pick on absolutely everything, especially when you're a sustainable company. I think it's the same. I'm a vegetarian, but I think it's really hard. Yeah, I think we struggle with the same thing, is that people, they want to have conversation with you about it, even though you don't ask for anyone's opinion. You're here having your veggie burger and that's not a problem, but people will say, oh, why are you vegetarian? Oh, this and that. And even though you don't want to have a conversation about it right now, people will have stuff to say about it. They'll have stuff to comment on it. And yeah, but you used to eat meat before.
Yeah.
Okay. Or yeah, but why are you not a vegan then? Or why are you not plant-based? And it's just so many questions, and sometimes it's hard because you're trying to do the right thing, and it's the same with your business. When it's sustainable, you're trying to do the right thing, and if one day something's not perfect, people will wait for the opportunity to say something to you. And I think you have to be really careful about that, especially when it's your project, and you love it so much and you put all your heart and effort into it, and then yeah, it's the whole cancel culture as well. And people,
a whole whirlwind in its own.
Yeah, and people will wait for you to maybe sometimes do something bad, and they'll pick up on it and they'll message you about it. And social media can be a bit hard to deal with on this aspect. But yeah, I would say that was the main low, was definitely the pricing and the money aspect. But overall, we have very friendly followers, and most people, I would say 99% of the followers, love the project.
Continuing on with sustainability, you're planning to use craft boxes for shipping.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about, again, it's another box ticked. Brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure that it was sustainable all along. So the whole process is sustainable. So the t-shirts will arrive in craft boxes, because I wanted to find an alternative to plastic, the big plastic bags. So the thing with craft boxes is that, first of all, you can recycle them. You can put them if you put them in the right bin. It's obviously less damage for the environment, but also you can use them at home, for storage under your bed, you want to put some stuff in it in your kitchen, just a bit of storage, you can always reuse them. I know that I at home, I reuse a lot of my craft boxes, just to put like tools or anything inside. They're really good. Yeah, and the t-shirts will be wrapped in pink paper that has been made out of recycled paper as well, that I found, because I wanted to make sure that it was sustainable at every single step of the process, to make it very coherent. And yeah, it wouldn't make sense to have a sustainable t-shirt that arrives in a plastic box.
Yeah.
So yeah, finding an alternative that was not too expensive was a bit hard. But yeah, I did find it, and it's made by the same people who made the t-shirt actually. So they also produce these boxes. Yeah, it's an amazing company. It's called I Dress Myself. They're based in Bath, and they use very little plastic. They do amazing work. All of their garments are sustainable, and all the prints that they use are vegan and plastic free. So it was just a perfect company. It is an extra cost to make it, to produce it over there, because obviously it will be more expensive than ordering on Amazon or something. But it's definitely still worth it, and the quality is absolutely amazing. When we got the prototypes, I think I was just blown away by the quality. And even my mom, she was doing the laundry, and like she washed the t-shirts a few times, because we use them for photo shoots outside. So in between photo shoots, I have to wash them all the time. And after like 5, 6, 7 wash, they're still so soft to touch, and they still look great, and they still feel great. And even my mom was blown away by the quality. She said like, wow, that's absolutely amazing.
The final topic: entrepreneurship, business plus feminism. What does it mean to you?
It is hard to visualize yourself, because there's not a lot of female CEOs out there, and there's not a lot of examples. And when you come from business school background, business background, I think it is hard because it's a very masculine environment. And to believe in yourself and have the courage to say, right, I want to start this. I believe in my project, and I can do whatever I want to do. It still feels unreal when I say that I've started my company. Because to me, a CEO is a 45-year-old white male. Well, not to me, but like the average idea of someone who starts a company. That's what it is. And being a 21-year-old woman, so I'm from France as well. I didn't mention that. I'm from Paris, so I'm not even an English citizen, even though I live here and pay my taxes. I'm not. So yeah, it feels a bit strange to say that to people. Sometimes I feel a bit scared to say it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's just a few t-shirts online, you don't want to make it a big thing. But you should make it a big thing. You should be proud of yourself, and honestly, with the right mindset, and if you believe in your project. And also it is a lot of work. You have to be consistent, and you have to know that it will require a lot of work and a lot of your energy to start your project. But if you believe in yourself, honestly, you can do anything. Don't be scared to be smart is the whole idea behind Rue Clotilde. And it is exactly the kind of message I would give to any woman out there who wants to start a business. Yeah, if you have the right mindset and you believe in yourself, and you know the work that it is to start a company, then yeah, definitely anyone can do it.
How do we find you? How do we find Rue Clotilde, and how do we buy a t-shirt?
So you can follow us on Instagram, which is Rue Clotilde UK. Maybe you can put it in the article. Perfect. And then we have a website as well, rueclotilde.com. So yeah, very excited for everyone to get our t-shirts, and I cannot wait to see people wearing my t-shirts. Honestly, that's the one thing I'm looking for.
I'm going to order the white. Which is the white one?
Thank you.
White one?
Say again, sorry.
What's the name of the white t-shirt?
It's called honnête, which is French for honesty. It's because we are transparent, 100% transparent, and we're being honest about how it's been made, where it's been made, what it stands for, about the price as well, because I'm talking about it now. And yeah, we just wanted to, well, when I say we, it's me and my friend who does the designs. We decided the name together, and yeah, it just felt right to have a bit of French as well, because it's my heritage. and I wanted one of them to have a French name.
Yeah.
And yeah, just being honest about everything that was required to create this t-shirt.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.